When I was a senior in high school, I wrote letters to all the SEC golf coaches inquiring about golf scholarships. Well, they all wrote me back and said, we don't have anything like that, but we'd love for you to come to school and play on our golf team. The coach at Florida wrote me and said, Bob Woodruff, the athletic director, has given the golf team one SEC grant in aid. That's what they called them. And come down and play a tryout round with me. I got on a Greyhound bus and I rode down to Gainesville, Florida. It must have been 10 miles or more. And I played with this coach, Andy Bracken. And that's how I got the SEC grant in aid, a full scholarship. I thought Gainesville was special. I did, I always did. And I thought Gainesville High was special too. When we moved down here from Westminster, South Carolina, I thought, well, I'm going to the big time now. I'm going to Gainesville and go to Gainesville High. I thought that was very special. I went out for football in the 8th or 9th grade, and there was only one other boy in the 9th grade that was on that traveling team. That was a real good high school team. It was one of Clayton Deaver's teams as the head coach. He had Graham Hickson, who was a great coach as an assistant, and he had a guy named Flournoy and another guy. They all went to head coaching jobs. And I remember sitting on the bench. Gainesville played Decatur, and they had like a 30-game winning streak at City Park, and Gainesville beat them 12-0 to break that. And I thought that was one of the greatest games I'd ever seen. I was in the 9th grade, and I was sitting on the bench. I couldn't believe it. They'd toss the ball back to Harry Winger, and he'd outrun them every time to the corner. I didn't have any of the ability, those guys, none of the ability. I said to someone one time, I said, I just did the basic things. I never, ever fumbled the ball from center. I never mishandled the ball. I never handed it to the... I just made the basic, simple plays. I never threw the ball when a guy was recovering. And that's what I did. I didn't have a lot of athletic ability, like Lothridge and Ryle Huber. Of course, Ryle Huber would forget the play when he got to the line of scrimmage a lot of times. And Deshaun Watson, fantastic. We didn't throw the ball very much. It was just strictly a running game. Clayton Devers was from the Wally Butt School of Football, and that's what you did. You just kind of ran right at them and tried to run over them. I think one reason that I was successful at golf is that I saw a lot of guys that would give up. They'd have a couple of bad holes, and they'd just give up in the early part of the round. And I couldn't do that. I didn't have backers paying my hotel bill or whatever. So I couldn't just give up. I'd just keep playing and even punish myself to win a few $100s, and they'd just give up. But people never thought of it like that, I guess. But I think that's one reason I was successful. I think that the fact that I had a very pleasing swing they thought was good. And that's not necessarily true. Trevino had a very ugly swing, but a definition of a good swing is one that sends your ball to target time after time after time. It doesn't matter what it looks like. And so they gave me a lot more credit, you know, because the golf swing was kind of very pleasing to watch, and I didn't give up very easy. And I was out in the front yard when we first moved here with a little plastic golf ball that you could only hit about 15 or 20 yards, that had holes in it. And I'm hitting it across the road, and I'm hitting it back, and there's a neighbor. He told me the story some 40 years later at a class reunion, and he's watching me do that, and he says, that's got to be the biggest waste of time I have ever seen. True story. And I thought, you could have been you weren't doing a dadgum thing. You were just sitting. Why couldn't you do push-ups or something instead of just sitting up there, you know, in the porch? Well, he said some 8 years later, he's at the University of Georgia in Athens, and at a movie, and this world globe came up, and it was around the world in 60 seconds, and it was 59, I guess. And he says that globe comes up, and it goes Tokyo, London, New York, San Francisco. Tom Aaron plays in the finals of the National Amateur Championship, He said, I looked up there and thought, well, maybe there was something to that after all. And I said, it's funny how people react. If I come home from a tournament and they say, well, how'd you play? And I say, well, I didn't play very good. I shot 145 that didn't make the cut. But if I tell them I was playing great and I had the worst luck, they love it. And that's so much crap. But if you just tell them the truth, I played badly, it's like, well, damn, I pulled for you and you go out there and play bad. But they just don't know anything about golf, and they want you to say how good you are. And I've never been a self-promoter. I said, hell, you can look in the record books and see how good I was. That's easy. But if you got to tell somebody how good you are, I don't think you're very good. You never hear the best players in the locker room talking about how good they are. Yeah, I still enjoy playing, but you know, when I was at the Masters last year, a lot of guys, my associates, quit playing when they're younger than I am because they cannot stand playing that badly. Ray Floyd says, no, I quit playing golf years ago. He said, I couldn't stand to go out there and shoot 80, and I know how he feels, but you know, I don't like it either, but I love to play the game. You know, you take a lesson from someone and I say, are you getting any better? Well, no. I said, well, why are you still taking a lesson from him if you aren't getting any better? But a lot of that's up to the player. He may be getting good information, but he just doesn't work at it. It's up to you to do that. But it's a game of misses. Golf is. It's just you just want your misses not to be real bad. And I think that, you know, they take a lesson or something, they're going to never miss a shot. In fact, I had one of the golf coaches tell me that. I said, no, it's up to them. You can tell him, but it's up to them to do it.
What does it mean to Tommy to be inducted into the Gainesville Sports Hall of Fame?
It means a lot. It's a special group. And I feel very honored to be in that group. You can tell the way I'm reacting, how I feel about it. But that's just what I feel about Gainesville High. Of the 8 best athletes, I don't know that I would ever pick myself. I don't know, because there have been so many good ones. But maybe my success in golf may have been a lot to do with that, but I don't know that I would pick myself as one of the best 8 athletes. But I'm honored to be in there.